we're live. So, yeah, we're supposed to be
Back
talking
at
about,
it again.
yeah, the old man and the Father-Son-Podcast, the duo strikes again.
You know, I think it's time we address the one-way violence.
One-way violence?
In the African American community regarding women.
Oh,
where it's looked upon, let's quote Bill Burr. What did he say? You can have your protein shake in your hand.
Oh,
she can knock it off.
Because she's a woman.
Stand there and look at you. But if you even just raise your voice a little, everybody's looking at you all crazy. And now you got these video comes out of these women attacking men, from the lady that ran in the Olympics to somebody else doing something to somebody at an airport. It was crazy. These women have been just attacking these men.
Huh.
And while you got your computer up there in front of you, Google it. Google the recent attacks. Women attacking men in public. There's really famous women are doing it because you're breeding a society of people who have had no consequences.
Woman attacked man. This was 2 weeks ago. Woman arrested after attacking men on MacArthur Causeway. Woman attacked man with hunting style knife on Tuscan bus. Dang.
Yeah, it's an epidemic.
It is pretty terrible.
It's an epidemic because what you're looking at is how do I explain it? When it's like overcompensation. We overcompensated for a long time. So for the fact that we had domestic violence and the way stuff was in America, the way the situation was, how nobody really took rape serious till like 50 years ago,
Oh. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, that's a long story on that one.
Yeah, and so you're looking at overcompensating for now with all that going on, and that's a whole nother story we'll get to. But now, because we're guilty of that, we're overcompensating. So think about any time you made a mistake or something, you wanted to overcompensate to try to make up for the mistakes you made. Well, in the overcompensating part, we took away consequences.
Yeah.
And created a society of women with no consequences.
I have a recipe for disaster.
It is a recipe for disaster. You're seeing the bitter wall that Kevin Samuels talked about. The wall was coming. The wall was when men, the same way people are talking about they have black fatigue, they're having feminist fatigue too. It's just a social fatigue. People are fatigued by, in a place where it's just time where you can get off your butt and do it. Yeah, there's going to be obstacles. Yeah, you're going to run into racist people. But it's up to you to try to continue on to that path if you realize that they're there. You have to redirect yourself and come up with something else. And find a path where you aren't going to have to deal with racist people towards getting money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So, with all that said, these women have no consequences, man.
So what do you think we should do for a society that's basically, fostering that kind of situation?
Well, what is there to do? What can be done?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now that the person's laying on the ground and they've been, you done stuck them 22 times with the ice pick, you want them to just get back up and shoot baskets with you? They're hurt. And that's what the dating game, that's what it is. Dating is hurt.
Oh.
They didn't hurt men. They hurt dating. Women took dating, pinned it to the ground, and stuck it a whole bunch of times with the ice pick of their logic. And now they want to get dating back up. And they want to be modern women while receiving, you know what I'm saying?
Traditional values.
Yeah. But that ain't never gonna work. And every podcaster then already said this like 30,000 times, and they still don't get it.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying nothing new that nobody else is already saying, but what I'm showing is I'm showing how the lack of consequences has created this. And, you know, they keep making decisions without consequences. I think about this. Back in the day, if you were a lady and you got pregnant and nobody knew who the baby's father was, they put a scarlet letter on you.
Scarlet letter? What's that supposed to mean?
Google it. You got Google? We're on here. Let's see what the scarlet letter is. That way we can show the people what the scarlet letter is.
Oh, you talking about a letter for scarlet letter A for adultery on her dress is a sign of shame. Describes the plight of Hester Prynne, who has been forced to wear scarlet letter A for adultery on her dress as a sign of shame. Wow. Obscenity claims. The book has been labeled pornographic by some groups, particularly regarding a clergyman's involvement in adultery. Oh wow, okay. Damn. That's crazy. Yeah, you guys could see the little article up there too, guys, so.
The scarlet letter is diabolical work. That's the church. So, think about this. Over the course of the last 5,000-6,000 years of humanity, all religions could not agree on God, right?
Okay.
They all agreed on women being quiet.
Oh, okay.
And covering their bodies.
Yeah.
All of them. Every one of them agreed that women should be quiet and cover their bodies. They couldn't agree on God, the messenger, nothing. But they sure as hell agreed on women being quiet and covering their bodies.
Damn. That's kind of interesting though, because that's not really a lie either. That's like, if you look into, like, nuns are supposed to dress like very modestly. Like even the Amish women dress modestly. They're supposed to dress like how Muslim women dress, basically. You know, cover their hair, cover their body. You know, don't leave anything out for the imagination.
Yeah, God? Oh nah, we gonna slaughter each other over this God. We gonna have crusades. But women being quiet, covering up their body.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm pretty sure when they had that big meeting, what's it called, where they agreed upon the Bible.
Oh, you talking about the Geneva Convention?
Nah, bigger than that.
Oh. Can't think. The Council of Nicaea, that's what it was.
Yeah, the Council of Nicaea, that was probably what they agreed upon.
Oh.
They sure as hell didn't agree upon God.
No,
they continued to slaughter afterwards.
Yeah, because no, that's true.
But they did agree upon the women covering themselves.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And being quiet. And now we're in a society where women neither have to do neither. They have to neither cover themselves, nor do they have to, tame their tongue. Now, I'm not going to say be quiet. I'm going to say tame the tongue.
Yeah.
Modern women they're not trying to, and with no consequences comes the untamed tongue.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, actually.
The untamed tongue, the untamed behavior, the untamed aggressiveness. I mean, they just have the right to be aggressive as fuck with us.
Yeah, no, that's terrible.
A hot chick walks up to you and grabs your package.
No.
Your man package.
Your man package is crazy.
And you act like it's a problem. Something wrong with you.
That is essay.
And if you walk up to her and grab her woman package, it's time for the handcuffs.
Yeah, you're going to jail for that, man. They're not going to let you get out of that scot-free.
So you're telling me that the lack of consequences isn't a problem? It's a problem.
It is.
And how do you know it's a problem? Because more and more female teachers are getting arrested for having sex with students.
Yeah. That is happening a lot more, actually. That's not even a lie. That's true.
Oh, no. it's not been happening a lot more. It's being reported more.
Yeah.
And that shit was cool. That Mrs. Borchowitz pulled you after school and you got to bounce on that big old white booty after class. That was great. And you just high-fived the fellas.
Huh. Times change. That's proof that times are changing.
Yeah. Somebody got soft. Now it's sexual assault. Back then, she was teaching you the facts of life.
Man, that's crazy.
Now she's got to go to jail.
Yeah.
Be on a sex offender list.
Yeah.
But that's just consequences coming into play.
Yeah. It's just kind of crazy to me. That's like that. Oh yeah, by the way, guys.
Let's take a quick pause for you to get you a cup of coffee so you can get it back in the game.
Oh, you can. Yeah, all right. Yeah, you can kind of tell, kind of burned out already.
Yeah, hit the pause button here. Get you a cup of coffee. Get back in the game.
It's gonna, man. That's how do you? Let me go to my settings and actually add the pause button option because it's not an option on the hotkey. Pause recording. Let me type Alt F10 and unpause recording. I didn't even add the. Oops.
I want to add that. I want to make sure we add that.
What?
The pause. When we pause it.
Yeah, it's an option. It is an option. Oh, do you want to turn desktop capture and recording? No. Dang, that's crazy. Man, that's terrible. It's terrible. You know what? It might be easier to like simply stop the recording and come back in a second. Let me go. Yo, we're back, guys. Had to quickly get a cup of coffee. Yeah, I needed my coffee.
So, back to the untamed tongue.
Oh, yeah.
That right now is what you're seeing, and that's what's making the dating pool what it is, because consequences for men haven't changed. They still remain the same as they did as of early in society. You do some shit that you ain't supposed to, you're probably gonna get hit in the mouth.
Yeah, no, that's true.
You do or say some shit that you ain't got no business saying or doing, you're getting hit in the face.
Getting hit in the face is diabolical work, though. That's true, though.
Hit in the face is always an option for a man.
Yeah.
But think about that.
What?
Now, am I pandering for violence against women right now?
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. I'm speaking facts, and that's what it sounds like. When you speak to the facts, all of a sudden they're going to look at it as, oh, he's going to violence, he's insinuating violence against us. And in no part of this conversation did you ever hear anybody remotely, even faintly,
talk about hitting women. No. We're not talking about hitting women. Oh.
The idea of not doing the behavior is not even in the conversation.
Oh, yeah, no, because like...
The conversation is strictly about hitting women. It has nothing to do with the behavior.
Behavior is why they get hit. But it doesn't make it okay. It makes it like that's why.
Behavior is not to be questioned. You know, that's what I'm saying. So, no consequences. You can't even question what's happening. That's how deep the whole thing is. You can't ask questions. If you all start asking, you start questioning authenticity or the integrity of their actions and their behavior, you immediately become sassy. Sassy, is he LGBTQ? They start coming up with all of these damn character assassination in full mode, to say the least.
Damn.
That's the first thing that's what real woman violence is. Real woman violence is character assassination in their mouth and what they do with their mouth with that untamed tongue, because there's no consequences for it.
Yeah.
We took consequences away from women and they have mutated into awful human beings, man, especially a Western civilization. Now, you go over to some of these other civilizations where they still got consequences for women. Iraq.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, they do.
Yeah, consequences. consequences. You cheating? Get the
I'm about to stone you to death for cheating.
Kalau, go and get the machine. Get the machine, dig the hole. Prepare the stones.
Yeah, stoning is crazy.
Everybody from the village, we want them to have energy. So they get a cook, and everybody from the village eat. Then they grab stones.
Damn.
And they stone her until she quits moving.
Yeah. Until she quits moving is crazy. Because like that's culture. That's the culture shock of it. Is like that's what they used to do in the back in the day.
No, they still do that over there. Women can't have a driver's license and Google if women can have driver's license.
They can't.
Iraq. Google it.
Let me look it up. Give me a second, guys. Put my keyboard down to, drink my coffee.
Driver's license in Iraq.
Well, now they can. They can now. But that's recent though. Like that's only like the last 20 years it's been like that. It's saying yes, women in Iraq can legally obtain and hold a driver's license. That's what the AI says. While there are no legal restrictions preventing women from driving, social and security factors, particularly some regions, have historically influenced women's ability to exercise this right. So no, okay. So what they're saying is, and it wasn't always like that, and like they had like laws against it basically.
Yeah,
it's not like they can't get a license, but it's like it's difficult for them to get it.
And they're just now getting those type of rights over there.
Damn. Huh. Yeah, no, that's true. Well, guys, you heard it from the old man himself. We gotta tweak our society to be a little bit more not unforgiving of women, but like more so like across the board for both genders. That's all. We're not saying you should go and hit women if they say something you don't like. All we're saying is that there were standards put into play in a long time ago for even in the Western society, like in Europe. Like the European descendants, like they had rules against allowing women to speak in certain manners because the times were different, and it's like that still to this day in like the Middle Eastern countries. So all we're saying is we're not saying go and hit women if they say something you don't like. We're saying they have went unchecked for a long time, and there are bound to be circumstances that arise from that. That's all.
I'm not saying hit women in no way.
No, not at all.
I'm saying you need to understand what you're dealing with, so that because if you understand you're dealing with something, you'll deal with it on a level that's safe.
Excuse me, yeah.
If somebody taught you what a rattlesnake is, and you're walking across the bush in the desert, and you hear a rattle,
you're gonna be cautious.
You're gonna walk away from that sound. You're not gonna walk towards it.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So it doesn't necessarily, you're not going to try to go over there and go into battle with the rattlesnake.
No, you're going to avoid it.
You're going to avoid it.
So all we're doing is educating you guys to avoid that rattlesnake, guys.
That's it. We're not, nobody's saying hit no women.
No.
I never say that. I got mothers and sisters, a wife. But I am saying that you got to avoid the rattlesnake.
Yeah.
The rattlesnake is out there. And you will get poisoned and to go back into it while we're dealing with it, people talk about God and, I'm not going to go into all of that right now. But what I am going to say is that the unseen force of nature is true in its own truth. Its own truth is that truth that cannot be denied. And one of the truths of nature that cannot be escaped is the Fibonacci sequence.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And another truth in nature that cannot be escaped is postmatism.
Oh, yeah. Okay, postmatism. So basically, postmatism is like high colored.
Let's show them. Put it up on the screen.
Yeah, let me explain it. Postmatism is
Encyclopedia Britannica definition.
Postmatism definition. Well, the AI does a pretty good job. Warning coloration, postmatism, also known as warning coloration, is a defense mechanism where animals use bright, conspicuous colors or patterns to signal to potential predators that they are toxic, venomous, or otherwise dangerous. The strategy relies on the predator learning to associate the warning signs with an unpleasant or harmful experience, causing them to avoid such prey in the future. So basically, it's like a genetic thing, like that. Like it's like an evolutionary pattern kind of thing. So
so you're out here. So nature is being true in its own sense. It's showing you.
You talk about women who dye their hair.
Purple, blue, these bright colors. You would avoid a skunk. You would avoid a coral snake.
Yeah, if it had colors like that, yeah.
Let's go to the screen and pull up some pictures of a postman.
Damn, my mouth fell.
Animals that are in that.
Well, they got good examples. Okay, yeah, they got like this frog with like red and
octopus,
bright red, blue.
Skunk, Wolverine.
Oh yeah, they got some kind of hedgehog with postmatism.
Yep.
That's shocking.
Well, there's a lot of animals that fit into the postmatism, and let's just name some. What you got on the screen there?
Oh, okay. We got. Let me see. They got a poison dart frog, stink bug, rattlesnake, wasp, skunk, tiger moth.
Hold on, slow. Read slow so they can hear you.
Okay, yeah. We got a poison dart frog, a stink bug, a rattlesnake, a wasp, a skunk, and a tiger moth. Yeah. And that's like the first example actually when you type in the postmatism definition. And they got more.
Octopus.
You said what?
The blue ring octopus.
Oh, yeah, that should be another example too. Let me look it up. Blue.
Bright colors. And the only reason I'm hammering on this.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a good point, yeah.
The only reason I'm hammering on this is because you're looking around society and you're seeing women with this color. These animals, these mammals.
Yeah.
And they're dying. They're showing their toxicity through their hair. Just like on the exterior, the way they can't change no other color to the part of their body except their fingernails, toenails, and their hair.
Yeah.
And you're seeing bright blue, and you're seeing green, and you're seeing red, and you're seeing orange, and you're seeing all these colors, and you're seeing blonde, and you're seeing these people dyeing their hair with all these colors, and they're showing you they're toxic.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Like because there's a lot of women who like follow feminism who have like dyed hair.
Yep, and a lot of these dudes are like, oh, you look cute with that. Oh, so
they're trying to get they're trying to tap. That's all.
Well,
man.
And that's why they wind up in poisonous situations.
Yeah, they wind up in a toxic relationship.
With a poisonous kid's mother, or potentially facing false grape allegations.
Yeah.
There are a lot of real grapes. Let me stand on that. A lot of women are really grapes by men.
Yeah, the topic becomes touchy when you do it like that. But no, we're not saying.
But then when you get into these toxic situations, one example is, if you want to pull it up on the screen for everybody to know, that kid from USC who survived the USC student who survived the false rape allegations.
Oh, you're talking about it.
Torn apart.
Oh, you're talking about a buddy who was dating that chick who was drunk, and then she like basically was like that.
Yeah, go to it. They
don't know what it's called. What's it called?
USC student beats rape allegations.
Oh, judge drops rape case against USC student citing. Oh, this is like 2017.
Make sure you say that you're directly quoting the article.
Oh yeah, this is from an article, guys. But you know how YouTube is. YouTube doesn't care about none of that. They are terrible, actually.
No, if you say you're quoting it, the algorithm you're educating.
Oh yeah, it is, because it's in the title. It's literally like it's in the URL link too. It says please enter your email address. Man, they want me to do all kind of special stuff to sign in to see this article.
Yeah, because that's tough. You see that? And what were her consequences? Now that we're talking about the poisonous creature did the poisonous thing, and this dude almost died from the poison. And what are the consequences?
There weren't any, were there? Dang, we were dropping my keyboard. You guys can hear in the background.
No consequences for her. Nothing.
Oh, that's terrible. Well, he beat the case at least, so he didn't get poisoned.
At least, yeah. But what
No,
about
that's
the
terrible.
trauma? Do you understand
No,
what
yeah,
happens
that's a good
to you
point.
when you go into the jail for rape?
Oh, you gotta.
Rape. Rape.
Dang, you won't even allow me to read that.
For rape, you become the target of rape. They want to grape you in there.
No, that's terrible. You know,
Okay.
you might as well like.
When you go into jail, and you're going into the jail and going to penitentiary, and you are doing real estate fraud, insider trading.
Oh no, that's not me.
Let me tell you.
As you're talking about me, I was like, what?
They don't grape you.
No.
You have a way out of grape, and that is by teaching them how you got the money.
Oh yeah, because.
And then by teaching them that you got them, how they got the money, you're put over here. You get different food. You get different liquids from everyone else. You're on a different tier because you're giving them. Some of them are getting out soon, and you're giving them a resource, which is knowledge that they can take with them, a forever resource. So you're excluded from grape. But when you come into the jail for grape, there is no. That's what you're getting.
That's wild. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
I promise you. That's what you're getting.
Yeah.
You're getting it.
Yeah, no, that's real because you got to think about the circumstances that people are going to jail under. You got to really like, guys. Yeah, he's old man is making a good point here. And the rules are different. You're tying it together like almost like in a cosmic fashion. How you're tying it together. Pretty good though.
And it's a lot of the ways, and they have no consequences.
No,
so when you have no consequences, you can try to destroy somebody's life. You can say, great, and this dude's not going to be a doctor anymore. And you ended his whole life because he slut banged you, and then you thought you had a doctor. He didn't want a relationship. No relationship means jail for you. That's insane. They get to come up with these value systems and these warped value systems where eventually they say to themselves, well, nothing's going to happen to me.
Damn, that's crazy. That's toxic. Oh man, my phone took another dive. Everything's like falling off on me. But no, that's toxic right there. Like that's a terrible mindset to have, guys. Don't have that. Don't be that guy or don't be that person. Okay, guys.
What do you mean? Let's pull up the astronaut who drove from Florida to Texas.
No, yeah, all this being said is like don't be a terrible person, guys. Be like socially conscious and socially aware. Don't be like.
Who are you talking to? See, you're saying it to everybody, but this is something that what we're talking about truly applies to women because consequences are for men.
Yeah, you're making that's a good point actually. Yeah, no, that's all right, ladies. Yeah, let me specify then.
Where you're at right now, if she comes by and swats your stuff off the table, you're gonna cuss her. And be like, what the hell?
Yeah, but you can't hit them, no.
And swats that stuff off the table, swats your laptop and all your equipment.
Oh no, we're about to be boxing. No, for real, because that stuff is expensive.
His consequences are immediate.
Yeah, because he's a man. That's what you're saying.
Guys, be a good person and all that. That don't apply to the bros.
No, it really doesn't. That's a good point.
For the first time, I know you want to be, you want to represent the part of the podcast where everybody's all inclusive. But
yeah, no, that's true.
Include everybody. The only people getting punched in the face is female boxers.
Yeah, no, that's real. Man.
So what?
That's looking the highlight of this. That's a highlight of this little podcast. That's a good point. You make a good point with that. That's a good point.
Make Clarissa Shields punching somebody, a female boxer in the face. Be like, this is the only time.
That might yeah, no, that's it's gonna be hard to find like a background photo. It'll be like it's a little easier because like when you have me look up stuff, it kind of like it's already recording the desktop background. So as soon as it's looked up, it's perfect. So this setup is pretty good. It's got a little black screen with the recording thing. This will work for now. So you have me touch something up, it loads it up immediately.
Somebody in the face or Layla Ali, I'm Muhammad Ali's daughter punching somebody in the face, but that's the only time females getting hit in the face. But if a female came in there right now and swatted your stuff off, you would cuss her. But,
female boxers.
And you would want to do something to her.
Yeah, so women don't get hit like that, guys.
But if
men do.
Guy came in there.
Well, he's not gonna fight me, but that's a big problem though. You should not know.
Just for saying, anybody of the guys came in there and just swatted your setup off the thing. And
we immediately have a problem. If a woman does, you can't accost her physically.
Like, what kind of body wash did you use? Y'all finna get close.
Oh yeah, no, that's real. That's real. You're real for that. That's true. Man, no, that's a good point.
So that's why I'm saying, when you're saying, all right, guys, be a good person, no, men have
men, we already have to. We're under the pressure of society and like the threat of violence to be good.
The consequences are baked in. They're baked in. You understand how even in your own right, you would be like, nah, you got to pay the price right now.
Yeah, because dude, that's not a cheap setup. But what you're saying makes sense because you interact with women differently.
When you mess up with as a man, the potential. The fisticuff potentials is in the high 90s.
Oh yeah, no, it's up there. It's definitely like no, that's not even cap because like that setup is super expensive. Yo.
When women do the same thing, the fisticuffs is down in the 20s.
Yeah, because you can't hit women like that unless some men do hit women and they be out to lunch about it. We be calling them out to lunch about it.
It is very frowned upon because it shows that you should have had enough self-control and you should have understood things up as a man to just get away from her and get away from that situation.
Yeah. But no, that's a good point. Men get accosted differently versus women. How you accost women, you accost them verbally, and women don't really, they don't understand like that. Like it's almost prison etiquette, but low key if you really think about it like that. Because think about it, if you do something in prison, you're liable for your own behavior. You have to be more responsible in a prison etiquette type situation. Like even in jail, it was like that because you can't be talking to everyone like that because some dudes be out to lunch, they really be crazy in there. So it's on you to be more self-aware and more socially conscious of how to interact with people. At least that was my experience going to jail. Don't know about anyone else, but when they took me to jail, man, that was crazy. It's almost culture shock for me because people don't talk when they have you in the little holding cell. People don't be talking to each other like that. There's no small talk. Everyone's dead silent. For real, everyone's dead silent.
All that Hollywood shit.
That's all. That's dog water. That's all dog. That does not happen in the real. If you really get locked up, they do not do that. That is all facts. They do not do that. So yeah.
And so that's why more men need to understand that it's called a tear trap.
A tear trap. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Is it a Googleable word?
I don't know.
How do you spell it? T-E-A-R?
Yeah, T-E-A-R.
Oh, that's what you mean, the AI is thinking you're talking about the trap muscle on your neck. It's like the trapezius muscles. No. What you're saying is it's like a tearjerker.
Not tearjerker. It's tear trap.
Well, let me see because
you catch her dead to rights. You got her, and then she starts to tears.
Oh, that's not. Well, you could call them a tearjerker, but that's called being manipulative. We call that narcissism. We don't have a special term for that, but that's generalized narcissism, basically. Yeah, we're coming up on 22 minutes, guys. If you liked the video, like it. If you didn't dislike it, comment down below. We're going to keep going, but, last time kind of cut it off a little early, but it kind of ruins the content when you do it like that. So this is me, doing my little checkpoint, little standing, That's all.
No sweat, but this is, so the no consequences thing now is spilling over into the sons that they're raising.
Oh, yeah, so now you're raising a generation of men who don't understand that they're not women and they can therefore be hit by other men. So it's that's why there's so much conflict nowadays. People don't realize that. It's women, a lot of men aren't raising these kids.
Now, and you got these same young men raised by women who don't believe in consequences.
Yeah.
They out here They out here with switches.
Oh yeah, no, that's a whole different bag of worms right there. That's a whole different can of worms that you open.
You're talking about who raised them.
Women did. Women most likely raised those men, but that's a good point though.
Independent single moms, right?
Yeah, yeah, a few of them. Not all. There are some who are raising their kids, and their kids still come out like that. But that's a small minority. But no, mostly women are raising these kids nowadays. There's a lot of single moms, so naturally the single moms are going to be raising their kids.
There's a small minority. Is that what the Kia Boys was?
Oh no! It was me like there's a small minority of people who are being raised by both their parents who end up being like that.
Oh yeah, the Kia Boys was all single mom kids.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Everybody that I know, and I'm not putting nobody out there that was a Kia boy.
Very good.
Raised by a single mom.
You're good.
I know a few Kia boys.
Oh, you know a few of them? Oh, never mind. Say less. You don't need to delve into that.
Enough to say 10 out of 10.
Damn, all of them. That's all of them, guys. But yeah,
10 out of 10.
That's 100%. That's 100% right there.
So,
yeah.
And
Let me check the channel actually. See how much views we got.
Minneapolis and St. Paul. And so this whole no consequences thing is having this spillover.
Yeah.
And you look into politics, it's spilling over into politics.
Yeah, no, that's real. That's bad though. That's not what we want, guys.
A group of people is coming in and they're doing politics. You got a Muslim dude in Minneapolis with no consequences for what he get to say.
Oh.
He's your age over there talking about white men are the original are the number one terrorists.
Oh, well, you have to think about what they did when they colonized the whole world. So what he's saying is like, it's a little edgy, but at the same time, it's like, there is some truth to it. Like, you got to think about Christopher Columbus. You got to think about Magellan. You said what?
We're going to have this conversation. I'm going to have this conversation once and for all. We're going to get a few things out of it where my financial and my position is as a black nationalist.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. You've been a black nationalist for like the last 20 years. Since you were a little kid, you've been like that.
So here's the thing though that you learn real quick as a black nationalist is that they brought you over to their country.
Huh. Oh yeah, no, that's true.
I mean, if you brought a dog home and you've had a few dogs and pets in your life, did you bring the dog home to eventually for the dog to take over your bed and drive your car?
No. No one ever does that.
They never did. The same thing goes for black people.
You know, that's a good point. That makes sense. You've told me this before. So like, at least he's reviewing it, but this is like the first time you guys are hearing it, guys. So like, he's basically like, when they brought us over, it's sort of like buying a dog. You don't expect a dog to like run your household. You expect it to be a dog as it is. So like when the Europeans brought over the Africans off the slave trade, they weren't expecting the Africans to become the cornerstone of the society. Or even if they were expecting it, they weren't expecting to give us the same rights. Like a dog and a human are supposed to have different rights because they function differently, like innately. That's all I'm saying, guys.
Well,
which is actually that's a pretty good style of the podcast.
Dog is an example.
Yeah.
Because during chattel slavery, the dogs slept in the house.
They did. Yeah, the slaves didn't. Unless you were a house slave.
I didn't just pick a dog
for no reason. You picked it because it ties into everything. That's a good point.
It ties right into the dog stayed in the house. During slavery, the dog stayed in the house. No matter how cold it was or hot it was outside, the dog stayed in the house with the master.
Yeah.
So, chattel slavery meant that those humans were the same as owning bovine cattle or horse.
Yeah.
3/5 of a man.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's a good point. That's terrible how that happened. And there's a lot of terrible history is awful when you really look at it. It's super smutty. It's all terrible.
Well, you got more people with no consequences.
Yeah.
What were the consequences?
There weren't any consequences for treating the slavery. It wasn't always like that though. It was like
post-slavery consequences.
Like when we were like the original colonies, like we didn't have slaves like that. Like even white people were indentured servants. But then after they started chattel slavery, and they started doing like that 1700 that 16 to 1800s like that white science genetics type stuff, that Aryan type energy. Like that was when everything went left because they were like, oh, now you're like, no, now you're 3/5 a man and you're a slave, so you're less than a man. Like that. Like at first, like the Irish, the Swedish, they all were indentured servants because that's what they were bringing over. They were bringing over the bottom of the barrel for the colonization.
You know who had to pay consequences for what they did?
Slaves
Germany.
did. You said who?
Germany.
Oh, Germany. Yeah, forgot what it was called, but it was like after the First and Second World War. You said what?
With their involvement and what happened in the Holocaust.
Oh yeah, no, they had to pay reparations.
R.I.P. to the people who suffered and died in the Holocaust.
Yeah.
You know, R.I.P. to them. First off, but Germany paid the price. You know, just using those people as a mirror to hold them up. You know, our suffering is still ongoing. There's nobody in Germany still experiencing what Germany did back then.
No,
Germany's still paying. We're still suffering and nobody's paying. So there were no consequences for what they've done.
Oh. Yeah, no, that's.
And the worst consequence we could give them is by withdrawing. Literally.
Yeah,
that's
because we function a lot on the.
Like if you talk about consequences, withdrawing.
We're the backbone. Black people are the backbone of the society. Like
if they stayed home, if every black person stayed home for 7 days, this country would break.
Oh yeah, because think about it, everything would collapse after if we like went on strike like we did before.
That's the biggest nonviolent protest there is.
Oh, the sit down protest.
Don't go nowhere. Don't argue with nobody. Just stay home for 7 days.
Yeah. That would shut down everything. Everything would immediately like go into chaos because there's a lot of people in integral in very important spots in society. Yeah, 7 days would do it. Or especially like a month for sure would that would clear it. Like easily a month, man, because everything shuts down after the first 3 weeks, everything's shut down.
And you see how that's. I'm not advocating for nobody to do anything to anybody.
No, you're not.
What I am advocating for is for people to do nothing.
Oh, yeah, doing nothing is doing something.
By doing nothing, I'm insinuating a riot. Isn't that insane? How perspective.
Oh, that's what you're making a good point because they used to do that in the sit-down protests of the civil rights era. Like in the 50s and 60s, people would sit down and do nothing, and then eventually it got enough traction to where they changed the law. So it's kind of that what you're saying is crazy. Like you're pointing to something without really pointing to it. You're being very indirect, but you're also being super direct too because you're like, if we don't do anything for a week, it shuts down everything because you're doing something by doing nothing, which means that they rely on us a lot. Is all you're saying. But you're saying it in a super underhanded manner, super low key manner, and it makes sense. It makes sense what you're saying.
You want to take an example? Look at I think it was in Finland. I want to say Finland or Sweden.
Are you talking about the women?
Yeah.
Let me look at that. Pretty sure it was Finland, or no, it was Sweden. It was Sweden because it was the happiest. It was the pregnant woman riot.
Yeah, they put them in the blender. They said we're gonna stay home for 7 days, and for 7 days they didn't move. Women in houses didn't cook, didn't clean.
Oh no, they're talking about a pregnant. No, that might have been Finland though. But pretty sure it might have been Finland. Let me look it up though. Yeah, they seem to be typing it on the thing right now. Gay arsons, political violence in Finland. No, it should have been Sweden then. Oh yeah, it's the 2012 Sweden riots. Yeah.
And see how they called it a riot?
Yeah, but
But the women didn't even go outside or do anything. They didn't do nothing.
Let me
but
see.
It's called a riot. You see how the media is gonna twist it?
Oh no, this is a whole different. That's something else. Sweden. Oh, protest. I'm trying to find it. No. Uh, like that one, they burned a Quran actually. That might have been the same thing though. But no, that should have been a different one. But yeah, no, it was like a pregnant woman were riding. You sent me the link to it too. But all they did was they didn't do anything, and then like they because like the women were such an integral part of society, they had to like change the law because of how important they were, which is low-key crazy. It might have been Finland though. Yeah, I've been working on my type. My typing got a lot faster. Oh no, that's 1930. Yeah, no, it should be the Sweden riot though. I saw it was a bunch of moms basically over like art or not art, but like over Yeah, they burned a Quran. That's not the same. That's not the same riot because they didn't burn a Quran in that riot. They basically protested. Finland, Sweden. Which was the other one? It wasn't Holland. It might have been Sweden. No, they got a lot of Islamic migrants, so they had like a little Quran burning. That's crazy though. That's something else. Couldn't find it, but yeah. If you guys wanted to look it up, yeah, they might have better luck, but it was like a little Sweden riot. Are you still there?
Yeah, it wasn't no riot.
Oh no, it wasn't a riot, but it was like it was a protest. Like they had signs and all that. Okay, so we're like 35 minutes in, guys. We're going pretty strong. This is actually, this is super entertaining to me, actually. Super entertaining to, have someone to bounce ideas off of versus me, recording on my own. But this is all still valid stuff, though.
October 24th, 1975.
You found it?
Yep.
Oh.
Of course I found it on Reddit.
Yeah, of course, because Reddit has everything.
Of course I found it on Reddit.
What did you type in to find it?
I was just wondering wondering how the day was with most women not working, and they went on.
Oh, and that's how you found it. Okay. Yeah, because this is a subreddit for everything, they say. For literally everything. That's crazy that they say that. And it's kind of backed up too with the facts. Let me see
Women
here.
refused to work, cook, or look after the children.
Yeah, that was a riot.
They went bananas. That wasn't a riot. They just did nothing.
Yeah, but
And
that's.
You know what it was? They said this is our consequence. Our consequence is withdrawal. And that's what you're seeing in the dating and the marriage market from the men. You're seeing withdrawal is the consequence.
Yeah, there's a lot more passport bros. Like that wasn't a thing in like 2020. Like passport bros, that wasn't that common compared to like 2025 now. Like in today's day and age, where there's like, you'd be hard pressed to find a bro who's looking for someone and they haven't been overseas.
Keep it a stack, man.
You said what?
Pre-used. Let's keep it a stack. They come hella pre-used.
Some of them do.
I was a chaperone at your dance near high school.
Yeah, no, that was terrible. There was
hold on, and by the time us as the adults made it to the middle of that circle of human bodies in a circle, and we made it to the middle, there was a full condom laying on the floor.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. A full use condom is crazy.
Laying on the
You're not
floor.
even lying either. That's how bad it was. We know who did it too.
These are 14 and 15-year-olds.
That was that was my first dance after leaving the different school.
That I heard third hand, or that is a legend. I'm telling you, I was there as a chaperone. I almost won the pot for which girl was gonna cry first.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, no, that takes me back because man, that was crazy thinking about that. That's crazy nowadays. Yeah, that actually happened, guys. He's not making anything up. Like as a witness to it too. Like because that was literally we were 14, 15 at the time because that was my first dance after transferring schools from North High to Simley. So.
Get to the middle of all these bodies that are in a circle, gyrating, cheering, and we don't know what the fuck they're cheering for.
Yeah, no, you couldn't tell.
To the middle and see, and when they finally get to the middle, there's nothing there, and there's a full condom on the floor.
That's terrible. How did they even, like, that's, you know how illegal that is?
And
They,
you're
like,
expecting to run. So you're, after you turn 18, 20, move out, at 24 years old, you're expecting somebody who started right there doing that in the middle of a dance floor. You're expecting wife material out of that in the next 10 years?
no, you're gonna be hard pressed to find a good woman like that, or even a woman who doesn't have any mileage on her. You're gonna be hard pressed to find, like, you know, most of them have mileage.
There was no one to give consequences to in the middle of that. It was just
no, that's why it happened.
On the floor. They had to shut it down for a second.
They did. They paused the music and everything. At least it wasn't me being on the middle of the dance floor. It was like sitting there watching the whole dance. But there was a big congregation of, like, little kids and like high school kids in the middle, and then, like, something happened, and then we ended up hearing about it for like a month afterward. Like, we know who did it, and we know, like, they're still to this day, like, if they might tune in, you know, if you heard this, you know who you are, guys. We're not gonna share into that. But,
I'm not going to. I know.
Yeah.
I was like, but I just wasn't no rat fiend. I just let it be, because I know that they were gonna press charges. And they were gonna do, man. They had the police there. They were gonna do special stuff to whoever came clean.
Yeah, no, that was.
But they did come clean. They came clean, filled the condom up, and left it right on the floor.
Yeah, clearly. They did have the cops show up, actually. Some people got caught smoking pot at the dance.
All pun intended.
Yeah, no, that's wild. People were getting caught smoking pot, just siphoning pills at the dude for an upper, like, middle class white school, like, that was. They were out to lunch, like, they were, like, ratchet for that.
There was a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
There was a lot you didn't, you know.
They're ratchet for that. That's my high school. Like, you know, what does it say about me? It doesn't say much, but it's like, you know, that's the kind of high school that we were going with. We kind of got off on a tangent, guys.
You didn't. That was a choice you made later in life. You didn't make it from peer pressure. And
right.
I can let me just step aside from the podcast as dad for a second.
Okay.
And tell you that that's one thing that I had a respect about. Even after you got out of high school, it was a decision. You made a decision after high school, because there was a lot of junkies in your circle. And peer pressure wasn't enough for you.
No. Yeah, that's a good point.
I always respected you for that. I always respected you for that, what you did in high school, because there was a lot of peer pressure. You had some real life junkies.
That's a good point. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
When I got on the phone with him, I don't care if it's on YouTube. I hope he hears it. When I got on the phone with Beasley's mom,
that's a long story, but yeah.
Yeah, she started telling me all this stuff about other stuff.
Oh, for real? Is that what was going on?
Yeah, like he's in a special situation like Zaya.
Yeah, no, yeah, Beasley's autistic, believe it or not.
So, not to go into it, but yeah, so, like, you know, and I'm like, okay. Alright.
Man, that's crazy.
Because I was trying to deal with I told her, I'm like, you know, he's 18. He's a man now.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about consequences still, right?
We are talking about consequences. It's gonna be a hard thing to name this video, because it's two clips, but it's gonna be about women and, like, consequences and stuff. You know, a good title and a good, like, little thumbnail will kill the video issue.
Was telling me that she really was raising him by herself.
Well, not necessarily, but his dad was in his life, but at the same time, maybe she did, like, most of the nurturing, so that could be what she meant.
Whatever it was, whatever was going on, when it came time for man time, because you know how I am.
Yeah, no, you're very straightforward in that regard.
You can say I'm misogynistic. You can say whatever you want about me.
Misogynistic
if all
is
of a
crazy.
sudden I start having problems with the kids and the woman, I need to talk to you. Where's the man at?
No, that's an old traditional style. That's a traditional value. That's all. That doesn't make you a bad person. That's all. Like, that's pretty fair. Yeah.
Talk to the man.
You did that with Uncle 802 and Jube. You did that with them. You did that with Meng's family. You always talk to Chino, so you did that with Meng's family. You did that with Beasley and his mom, and you did it again with Mikey too. You did it with all my friends basically.
Yeah, like where's the man?
Yeah, no, that's
they
real.
called. See, the problem was that they called looking for the mom, and there was no mom.
Nope.
So now we're gonna switch it up. But yeah, let me talk to your husband.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. I'll tell you who else I found out didn't have a husband like that. The dude that didn't blink, his mom.
Oh no, she divorced her husband, so like that's a good point.
She didn't have no husband because
No.
she called me trying to talk to his mom. I'm like, no, that's his stepmom. I'm his dad. How can I help you? Oh well, we just wanted to make sure it was okay for him to spend the night. I'm like, yeah. I'm gonna be.
Man, that takes me back. That's a while back.
This is on me.
Yeah.
But just, they tried to bypass authority, and they couldn't. And it's always made a thing in your life. It's always made it difficult. It made it difficult being your father when you would go to spend the night at places because they'd be trying to talk to the mom.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, all the time. All those places you were going, like, can we talk to his mom?
My mom was not actively involved in my life like that, so they'd be hard pressed to talk to her.
And you're gonna eventually, she's getting her consequences from you because you're gonna start to say stuff and you're yapping on these podcasts. And eventually, it's gonna come out.
It is, yeah. It was only a matter of time before.
A podcast and she's gonna get her consequence. Her ultimate consequence, her ultimate fear is you saying it out loud because you did once, and man, it was like the Hachi Mishima chop, bro.
But that's true. That's all it is the truth. She can't handle the truth. That's all that it was. It wasn't me lying about it. There was no lies told.
So what is the difference between truth and consequences?
Well, there's not really too much of a difference depending on how you look at it, because consequences are truth at the end of the day, because they're what happened, and the truth is what the truth is basically what is, and the consequences are what is as well. So it's kind of like
what you have to do is stop putting the negative connotation on consequences.
Yeah, consequences aren't always negative.
And just remember that they're a natural part of. There's consequences. There's consequences for what you're doing now.
You talking about recording this podcast?
No.
Oh.
Everything that you're doing to get you back to where you were.
Oh.
All that you're doing, the consequences of what you're doing will be positive.
Oh, yeah, no, that's...
Outcomes from consequences are positive and negative.
Well, yeah, but we have a negative stigma attached with it, that's all.
What we've done is buffered the negative consequences.
Yeah, that's true. That's
for
true.
Women in Western society, and it's creating weak men.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. You're making a good point there. That's not a solid good point. But we have like a negative stigma about, like, when you say consequences, people tend to think like, oh, something bad's gonna happen. But consequences are simply like a cause and effect, basically. Without another way of looking at it.
Causality.
Really? Yeah, causality. Yeah, it's literally it's an example of causality in the way that it's expressed through reality. That's all. Yeah, we're going on like 46 minutes right now, guys. We're going pretty strong right now, so stay tuned. We're gonna be doing more content like this, guys. So stay tuned.
And this is where it's at with life.
What do you mean?
Because you're gonna, you got so many people who are not. It's just crazy.
No, you're good. You don't even need to worry about it. Excuse me. Oh, man. 113. All right.
And you know who's getting the best consequences right now?
No.
And I don't approve of it. And I don't like it. But let me be the first to tell you it's hilarious.
Who are you talking about?
If you want to Google something where you're talking about, they went talking so much stuff, man. They went so...
Damn. What happened? We're an hour on the phone call, too.
Oh, man, listen. Okay.
Got my YouTube, got my Google up right now, actually, to type it in. Type in what?
Dildo.
Oh. The search results might not come out good. Oh, a dildo arrest? Second person arrested for throwing sex toy at WNBA game. Allegedly hit man and his 9-year-old. Oh, 9-year-old niece in stands.
These are...
A second, man, that's not the first time that happened.
Nah.
Wow.
Oh, man, I can't, bro.
And if you go on Reddit, there's a R6T for the 4th time in under 2 weeks. A dildo was thrown onto the court at a WNBA game. Look, even the ref is like pointing at it. Like they have to, because you got to think about it. Like it's supposed to they're supposed to simulate like a perfect environment for those games. So they ruined that whole game by that.
The problem is how much crap have they talked?
That's crazy, guys. You guys saw that on the like if you look, yeah, crazy that they threw that on the. Yeah, you can like even see the article for it. That's the 2nd time it happened. Or that's actually the 4th time based off of Reddit. That's crazy that Reddit's keeping track of it like that, because it says like for the 4th time. That means that it had 4 people have been arrested for that, guys. For the 4th time in under 2 weeks.
So what we're learning today, kids, the consequences are very real.
This is a day ago, guys.
There's no escaping consequences. And
no.
The dildo of life is rarely lubed.
Literally, like that's crazy, guys.
The dildo of life. And you think you're getting away, but the more you think you're getting away with,
really,
the bigger and the less lubed that it is. Yeah, they got me crying, man.
What is this? Mysterious shadow appears above WNBA arena just hours before tip-off. Man.
Yeah, we can't share that picture with you, but it's...
No, we can't. No. It would immediately demonetize me. Like, we're supposed to be, like, getting income from this kind of stuff. But, yeah, guys, this is crazy. You know, to say less, basically, yeah, it's nuts. This is pretty good content, actually. This, you know, thank you guys for tuning in. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't. Comment down below. And, you know, if you guys give us topics for us to discuss, we'll do that, too. So if you guys want us to cover a topic, we'll definitely delve into a little topic like that. We can do little shorter videos for that kind of stuff, too. You know, a little cutoff, basically what we think about it. But man, that's crazy. That's actually like nuts to think about that. Oh, I had to pop my neck. It might have hurt it actually. Man.
So yeah, with all this stuff going on, man, you gotta understand that you're dealing with people who they're not experiencing consequences.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. They don't so it would change how they behave if they had different consequences, which makes sense.
Hold on, let me ask somebody else. I got somebody I want to ask while we're on this thing.
Oh, okay. That coffee picked me up a little bit.
What are the consequences for our current society and the lack of consequences?
Are you Googling that right now?
No.
Just went radio silent. Are you looking something up right now?
I am now.
Oh, did you want me to look it up?
Yeah, I was asking Grok. Hang on.
Oh, you're asking Grok, the little app? That's crazy that he's got a little artificial intelligence now.
consequences for our current society's lack of consequences.
We have a lot of consequences as a society, and it feels. What is this post on Reddit? And it feels intentionally done.
There it is. Let's read it off while we got the whole thing going. This is what Grok says. You've been listening to me talk, and my first time turning on Grok. The question I asked Grok 3, which is the most updated version.
Oh, okay.
What are the consequences for our current society's lack of consequences? The answer is a society with a lack of consequences where actions, especially harmful or unethical ones, go unpunished or unchecked can spiral into dysfunction. Here's a breakdown of the potential consequences grounded in reasoning and observable pattern. Number 1, erosion of trust. Without consequences, people lose faith in institution, laws, and social norms. If rule breakers, whether criminals, corrupt officials, or unethical corporations, face no repercussions, others feel incentivized to act similarly, assuming they can get away with it. This breeds cynicism and weakens the social cohesion. For example, studies like those from the World Values Survey show that trust in institutions decline when corruption or unfairness is perceived as unpunished. Number 2, moral decay. A lack of accountability normalizes bad behavior. When people see others profiting from dishonesty or harmful without penalty, it shifts the moral baseline over time. This can lead to a culture where selfishness, deceit, even violence becomes more acceptable. Think of how unchecked bullying in schools can escalate into brutal social aggression if not addressed. We did talk about that. Selfishness and harm. The dude from all of the football star who got accused. Everybody who's gotten accused and never did anything, Jonathan Majors, the dude that was going to be caned. What is her punishment?
Yeah, good point. What we need to do is we really need to buckle down as a society for this kind of thing.
Number 3,
I was only 2.
And injustice. Without consequences, power imbalances grow. The powerful, whether wealthy elites, politicians, or corporations, can act with impunity, while the less powerful suffers disproportionately. This fuels resentment and can lead to unrest. Historical examples like the French Revolution show how unchecked elite behavior can ignite social backlash. Breakdown of systems. Rules and laws exist to maintain order. If consequences vanish, systems like justice, governance, or even markets start to fail. For example, if financial fraud goes unpunished, markets lose stability as trust erodes. Like look at the 2008 financial crisis, where lax oversight and minimal consequences for reckless banking amplified economic collapse. The encouragement of recklessness. Number 5. People are more likely to take harmful risk if they know there's no penalty. This applies to everything from minor infractions like cheating in academics to major ones like environmental violation. The BP oil spill in 2010, for example, was linked to cost-cutting and regulatory failures with insufficient consequences beforehand enabling risky behavior. Number 6, that's the last one, and then it wraps it up. Social fragmentation. When consequences are absent, groups may take justice into their own hands, leading to vigilantism and tribalism. That is happening. This can fracture society as people align with those who share their grievances rather than a shared system of fairness. Recent posts on X highlight growing frustration with perceived leniencies toward crime in some cities, suggesting a public desire for stronger accountability to prevent chaos. Here's the other argument. On the flip side, some argue that too many consequences can stifle freedom or innovation. Overregulation might discourage risk-taking or creativity, but a complete lack of consequences is rarely sustainable. Even libertarian frameworks assume some accountability to prevent harm. The balance is key, but our current trajectory, where high-profile scandals or crimes often seem to go unpunished, risks tipping toward instability. If you want me to dig deeper into specific examples or analyze related content from X and Web, let me know. Oh yeah, let's definitely. I love this one. This is copy to my clipboard. Go, Brock. Let's take a quick look at some historical examples. Oh shit. Let's get it. You're gonna love these. Number one, the late Roman Republic, 2nd to 1st century BCE. Widespread corruption, bribery, extortion, minimal legal repercussion. The Senate.
Not the Senate.
Erosion of trust, power vacuum and conflict, social instability. The pre-revolutionary 18th century France, absolutionism and inequality. And this is where we're headed. Under the Asian regime, the French monarchy and the aristocracy operated with near total impunity. The nobility evaded taxes, abused feudal privileges, and ignored peasant grievances, while the monarchy's absolutist structure shielded them from accountability. The legal system favored the elite with minimal consequences for their excesses. Mass consequences were mass resentment, revolutionary upheaval. You know who was going there. Who was that dude with the white wig on? What was his name? Robespierre?
Oh, Robespierre, yeah, Robespierre.
Yeah, Robespierre.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna take a minute to get all that. Okay, well that's cool to compress my little files, do it like that. But yeah, Robespierre cutting off heads. You said what up?
The Weimar Republic in 1913 to 1933. These are all things people can look up. I want them to look this up.
Huh. Yeah. I could look it up actually. Oh, what's we call it? Open a. Yeah, they even got some on my side too. Like they say, weaken morals and ethics, increase social disorder, normalization of improper behavior. Erosion of trust was also one on this one too. Negative impact on education, reduced motivation for positive change, and hindered progress. To summarize it, basically, it goes into more depth, but that's basically like the main ones, or like that's them without being explained fully. If you understand what that means, then yeah. But it's also on the screen for you too, guys. So if you guys wanted to read it real quick, it'll be up on the screen for now.
So there's no way this wins. You gotta understand that, is what I'm saying.
So there's no way to win?
There's no way this wins. There's no way the current structure wins.
Nope.
There's no way.
Yeah.
So even no matter what's going on, you know, history is always our teacher. And what you're seeing right here from history is you're seeing historically that trying to operate without consequences is going to be the ultimate. You're going to ultimately receive the ultimateness.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
So, good or good, positive or negative, you know, whether it's a desired outcome or undesired outcome, you will receive the consequences.
Yeah. We're coming up on an hour, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, we thank you for an hour of your time.
Yeah.
This is, you know, I hope that we shared something with you, gave you something to think about. But, you know, the whole start and beginning is about consequences and operating without them.
Yep.
And again, just to tap back on an earlier subject, when I, you know, hey, got aroused out of KC, I said, hey, what's gonna happen if a chick comes in and knocks your computer over? You're gonna cuss her out.
Yeah, we did cover that a little earlier, guys, too. So
if a guy comes in and knocks that computer over, it's gonna be fisticuffs.
Very much so. Yeah. It definitely would. Like, it would bother me. Like, you better back off, you know.
But that explains a lot of how consequences work.
Yeah, for men versus women. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Because the threshold of violence is always there. It's always right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
That's a good point.
when you're gonna say, all right, guys, be good people, nah.
Yeah, no, that was me trying to be inclusive, like to get, because the more viewers you get, the better.
But no choice but to be good people because the threshold of violence is right there.
Yeah, prison etiquette is real, guys. Prison etiquette outside of prison is a real thing, guys. It's sort of like because we have a lower threshold of violence, we're more likely to cross the threshold because of how much lower it is. If you have a high threshold of violence, you're not likely to get into fights that often. But if you have a lower threshold, you're more likely to get into fights. That's all, guys.
And so the low threshold is,
fights are more common.
You're trying to figure out what her reason is for that.
Yeah.
Whereas as a guy, you don't care what his reason is because he just did it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
As a man, he knows he doesn't. He knows there's potential that you may have had to work, you may have had to do something to buy that type of a gaming laptop.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You don't just open the cereal box and you're like, oh, a fully juiced Acer or whatever it is.
Fully juiced Acer is crazy because it is a nice little laptop. It still plays games to this day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it doesn't come. You're not gonna just open it and just like, oh, or you can walk into Walmart and find it. It's not there.
No, it's not. That's a good point, actually. Oh, keyboard fell. Dang, hit that. All right, yeah, no, we're good. Sorry about that, guys.
You know certain things about other men, like my neighbor's car right there. He's sitting right there.
Yeah.
If I do something to his truck, he's gonna be like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, no, that's real.
Because he did that on purpose. It's not gonna, we know that there's a lot of, we measure intent fast with other men. With something that we don't measure as fast with women. We don't measure their intent quite as, we don't weigh their intent and judge it as quickly as we do with other men. And
good point.
Women do it with other women, and they don't like each other.
No, they don't.
At all.
Yeah. Excuse me. Well.
So, yeah, we had a good one today. I don't know.
We can end it right here. Like, my keyboard fell and it masked the F10 button, but we got the whole recording though. We still got the whole recording. Don't worry about that. Like, it only missed like a little bit of what you were saying, but what he was saying was basically we kind of have it. We function like naturally differently. Like women don't have consequences the same way men do in a regard. So that's TLDR basically. But we still got the whole recording actually. Yeah, we got like 2 recordings actually. This one's 2.79 gigabytes, is an hour long. This one is 523 megabytes, so like half a gig. So we did get the recording, so it'll be uploaded. They'll see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over here throttling my leg.
And now we're gonna take it to the highest level as I wrap up the end.
Okay.
We're gonna include everybody's favorite guy.
Who's that?
The king of getting consequences, good or bad, right now.
Who are you talking about?
You know who I'm talking about? He's the king, raised by a single mom. The king of getting consequences.
You talking about You brought that up earlier. You talking about me?
I'm talking about the diddler.
Oh, the diddler. Who's the diddler?
P. Diddy.
Oh, P. Diddy was raised by a single mom? Man, those Diddy parties are crazy.
Yeah, diabolical work. Now,
yeah.
He is, first time in his life dealing with consequences.
Damn. Yeah.
Consequences are a very real thing. They're good or bad,
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. I didn't want to have to. Instead of getting fancy cars like my friends and stuff like that, having those old school rides with Rams,
Yeah.
I decided to do solar panels, Tesla batteries instead.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a good investment, though. You got to think about how good of an investment that is.
Though. So my friends thought I was dumb, and I don't feel like they're my friends anymore, but they thought I was dumb.
Do they really? You know how hard it is to get solar panels? Solar panels are always considered a sound investment. Who would ever consider solar panels as a not sound investment? Like, even in video games, they're pretty good.
Well, and to quote Uncle Ruff, just there was some powerful niggatry.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, guys. Let me pull that up actually.
What's that?
There's powerful niggardry at work here.
Yeah, hold on.
So I can see it. Oh, they don't even got. Can't even type, guys.
Oh yeah, shout out to Jeff St. James.
Oh, here it is. There it is. It's up on the screen, guys.
Shout out to Jeff St. James.
There's powerful niggardry. Where he got a GIF. That's crazy.
He's currently doing he's our current Huey from Boondocks.
Wait, who is?
Jeff St. James. You are Huey right now.
Jeff St. James.
Yep. Google him, put him up on the screen too. Shout out to Jeff St. James. He's out here doing.
They keep pulling up. How do you spell it?
Yep.
Oh, it's not.
He's getting the work done.
You got to do the work in all facets.
He's getting the work done, Jeff St. James.
You know, the island is called where Epstein was at, is St. James. So that's all the things that are pulling. It's pulling up Jeffrey Epstein's island. Called Little St. James. Epstein's 72-acre island.
Yeah, here he is on mine. Jeff St. James.
Oh, you found him?
Yep.
Nice. Couldn't find it on mine, actually. You know, sometimes you'd be hard pressed to find the article.
Well, they got a bunch of stuff they got hid from your generation because it's gonna send you guys is free. So it's not designed. That's what now. This is where that word comes in. Algorithm.
Oh, you sent me a YouTube link. Yeah, no. Let's see what this is.
Yep.
Can you give yourself give an introduction who you are, what you have?
Yep.
How long is this? Well, this is a 30-minute video, guys.
Yeah, he's a black Huey. He's a black Huey Newton. He's out here teaching us men and women how to get the work done, and reinforcing a lot of the value systems. Not forcing people into traditionalism, but really value. Really covering yourself, putting clothes on your body, remembering that you got a son.
Oh yeah, this stuff's pretty recent, guys. It's on the screen so you guys can see it. Jeff St. James' sit down. Jeff St. James break down why women struggle with finding a man. Oh, with accountability. Yeah, no, that's see, this is the kind of content that black people need to be consuming. That's why it's underground. Let me pause this real quick. Because it's what they need, but it's not what they want. You know, they don't want to sit and have to take accountability for the choices that they made in the past. Sleeping with this dude, doing that. But it'll help you. It'll help you sharpen your own mental sword by listening to this kind of content. It'll help you. It'll do wonders for you actually. So guys, if you guys are if you're a gamer, you can also tailor your content towards gaming, but also like they got like people like me who record Minecraft gameplay, but they talk about life over it. So you need to like pick up some life skills from this, pick up some advice from it. It'll do you good.
Yeah, shout out to Jeff St. James. He's out here getting the black Huey Newton. He's getting the work done.
Yeah.
Work is hard, and I speak when we talk about the work. I know we talk about consequences, but I'm gonna promise you, I'm gonna land I'm gonna jump off this cliff. And I'm gonna land right in consequences. So.
Oh wow. You didn't say anything controversial, really. You only spoke the truth.
The red pill, the real red pill, and that was as I covered in our last podcast that we did, is the guy that's done. The guy that you can, people can ask my wife what I've done, what I've done, and whoever that white dude is, Andrew, on the whatever podcast, I guess I'm pretty much his black equivalent.
It could be, yeah. But you're more low down. So what we need to do is we need to get you like the exposure for you to become, popular.
I don't want the exposure. I want the message out. The exposure is yours.
That's the only way that we get the message out is through the content like this. So.
Well,
But okay, what you're saying is fair. You don't want to be popular so much as you want people to learn. That's what you're saying is fine. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Which is fair. That's fair.
What I was saying was when you cover that real red pill stuff in life, not red pill content. I'm talking about red pill activities when you.
Well, this is we're like a minute and like 2 years.
When you raise those 2 step kids. And
oh.
You don't get to see that grandkid. Those are grandkids.
Yeah, no, that happened with yeah.
Dad, when you've gone through that first divorce, when you married the chick that had 2 kids already, and real red pill is dudes on the sideline listening. I said before they're the sportscasters, but what are their consequences?
Their consequences. They don't really, it depends on the person, but they don't really have too much consequence. You got to be careful what you say on the podcast at the very least, because it might reflect negatively on you. But yeah,
And so that's it. That's why I said I'm gonna take a big leap off here. When I talk about the red pill, the people that's doing red pill, what are their consequences? They don't have any consequences. Yeah. Kevin Samuels didn't even do red pill.
No, he didn't. He didn't really cover red pill content. That's a good point. But he was very red pilled, you could say.
He was based.
Yeah, he was based. Yeah, based in red pill. That's what they say. They say you're based in red pill, which is crazy to think about. To be based is yeah, no, that's real.
But that's after the experience, though. That's after he obtained the money. That's after he had the condo. That's after he had everything.
Yeah.
After he done everything and went through that divorce and seen it all, you become red. You automatically become the real red pill. And real red pill teaches. It doesn't make fun of people. This new red pill just makes fun of dudes. It makes fun of. They just bring hot chicks on and try to shame them.
That's not good content.
They find the most aesthetically pleasing women they can, and then they go for shaming them.
That is true. You're not even lying about that. They do the Whatever Podcast is guilty of doing that too. The Whatever Podcast, the Fresh and Fit Podcast does it too. Which is kind of crazy to think about. They're pulling views because the women are on their podcast and they're pretty, so people click on it. But then when you click on it, it's oh, you do OnlyFans, and he's he's basically shaming her for the work that she does. But at the same time, it's also they could do a better job of who they pick on the show. People be leaving because they're getting shamed. People be leaving in the middle of the podcast, and that's how they get their views. It's through the shock factor, which is kind of terrible, honestly. Versus the kind of content we make. All we do is we talk. We're discussing something, and as a father and a son, we're discussing. So you're passing down knowledge to me, but you're also discussing with me. So it's it's a different taste,
Yeah, and I hope people like it. But if they don't, that's fine. Not everything is for everybody. Not everything is for everybody, and this will be for some people. They don't like it, but that's the one message that I want to leave everybody with. We're gonna wrap up the podcast. It's been a long one. Is that the dildo of consequences seldomly arrives lubed. So you get away with whatever you think you're gonna get away with. Just when the dildo of consequences comes, just don't cry.
Yeah, you can pray for rain, but expect the mud, guys. Is what he's saying basically. If you pray for rain, expect mud. Don't forget to factor in stuff that you may not be thinking about, because it could be a possibility, guys.
The flowers will grow, but you will also have mud.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. You want to call it here, or?
Yep, we can call it here, kiddo.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like the video if you liked it. Dislike it if you didn't. Comment down below if you guys want us to do some topics, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.